first of all, I forget, because I know you now, and I didn't really, obviously I saw you in movies, but I forget what your life was. And it's a bestseller, so congratulations on that.
I just found out. I'm so excited. Thank you.
It's a really amazing book, and like I said, I forget about all these stories, and I love that you are sharing these.
Thank you.
I mean, first of all, you were emancipated from your parents at 14.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it seems crazy now, especially as a parent, but at the time it was a really necessary thing for me and my mom, and we were actually incredibly gracious about it with each other. And she was there, and it was something we needed to do. It was where our journey had taken us at that moment. And it didn't make either of us bad people. It just was what it was.
Well, it certainly didn't make you. You're 14 years old.
Yeah.
So how was your mom about this book, that you wrote this book?
She loves it. I gave her a copy. We've talked about it very intimately. And I have to say, it was such an extraordinary year of my life writing this book. I came to terms with so many things. It's a love letter to my daughters, and writing as a mother now myself. And it was just, I found humor in places I didn't have it before. I had a new perspective where it was different, and it was very revelatory for me. And I laughed as I was writing, and I was like, and then I cried my eyes out as I was writing some stuff. I couldn't even see the keys on the typewriter. And I thought, if any of this comes through, then I'll have done a job that I was hoping to do.
Well, the stories are amazing, and you don't call it a memoir. You're just sharing certain stories. But I mean,
That's right.
Meeting Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And you were, how old at the first?
Six.
6 years old.
And I lied to him. I lied my face off. I told him I was in a rock and roll band. I was a drummer, of course, because drummers are the coolest. And that I was a cook, and you know, I mean, funny enough, I went to meet on a movie called Poltergeist, and the director, Tobe Hooper, wasn't there that day. But Steven, who was the producer, was filling in for him, and I felt like I had him in my butterfly net. I was so excited. Like, Pippi Longstocking was my hero, so like I just felt like girls can do anything. You know, there's no ceiling. And I sold myself and like told my little stories, and I was like, and he was like, you know what? You're not right for this. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, but I'm making another movie, and I think you should come audition for that. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure. I'm sure he won't call. And he did, and I went in for it, and it was a movie called This Boy's Life. And after numerous auditions, I got that, which later became a different title called E.T. So, crazy.
I want to get to there's a lot of stories. So there's another story about your dad, who was equally, you said they were really, some people maybe aren't meant to be parents.
Yep.
And it's not their fault, but they had a child, and your dad was a very free spirit.
Very free.
Did not like to bathe.
No, he did with lemons and olive oil.
Okay.
He felt the lemons were the cleansing and the olive oil was the moisturizing. He was like a human salad. And he was very charismatic and odd, and I just appreciated him from afar.
Yeah, because he wasn't a part of your life.
Yeah.
He left when your mom was pregnant.
Yeah.
So then you were in hospice with him when he was passing.
He got cancer, and I had a very rare turn of events where I got to take care of him for 3 years in a hospice. And
then after he died, you have to tell this story.
We put his ashes in Joshua Tree. He loved Joshua Tree, and I had spent a bunch of time with him there whenever I visited him. Like if he had an address at all, it was Joshua Tree. Which, if you know Joshua Tree, there's no houses there. So we took his ashes there, and I went to this little motel, and I was sleeping until we were all going to wake up and spread the ashes. And I felt a thing, and I sat up in my bed, and the doorknob of my room opened, and the door just opened. And I just sat up in bed, and I was like, Dad? It was a moment where you can have hope about anything being possible, and it was a very unique moment.
Amazing, amazing.